in a place that you can handle hearing about death or injury or emotional turmoil, then I will see you next time. Be well. About 5 years ago, I was in an accident that nearly ended my life. For a long time, I thought that I was supposed to die there. Now, I see why I wasn't. To set the scene, we need to go back to 2018, when I started a long-distance situationship with someone I'd known tangentially for 3 years. I thought that it was fate that we had met, and furthermore, fate that they now shared my feelings. After all I'd been through, I thought that this is what I deserved. Because we were young, the conversations quickly turned sexual. I didn't know anything. They spent the following year grooming me into their ideal subservient doll. In 2019, I lost someone extremely close to me very suddenly. I told A, and in that same conversation, I learned that they were seeing someone else. They blamed me for overstepping, for sending them photos and suggestive messages that they had asked for, while they were seeing someone else. I was confused and lost. I hadn't known because they hadn't told me. All I knew was that I'd lost someone that I loved deeply, and the person I thought would protect me was a liar. My world was shattered. I lost my mind. A and I stopped talking for a little while. In January 2020, it began again. I was 19 and not immune to love bombing. I was also, more importantly, not immune to months of conditioning. When they asked me to drive 4 hours to see them, of course the answer was yes. The afternoon of the 24th, I had taken a nap. I dreamt that I was getting ready to see my recently deceased friend. In the dream, I said goodbye to my parents and stepped out the front door into a big, bright, white light. I felt weird, but I brushed it off as grief. When A asked me to drive down, I packed my bag immediately. I felt weird, but I brushed it off as nerves. Halfway through the drive, I stopped to get gas. My car, a 92 Dodge Dakota, was a cute gas guzzler named Clifford. The tiny pickup truck had a camper shell on the back that had moss and flowers growing out of its window frames. I loved Clifford like he was a living, breathing member of my family. When I got back on the highway, I realized I was going north, back in the direction I had come from. I got off at the next exit, made a loop, and ended up back at the gas station. I felt weird, but I brushed it off as discomfort around getting turned around. I continued on my drive and ended up northbound again. I hit the on-ramp, a sharp, unmarked, unlit corner, going about 2 miles per hour too fast. At that same moment, a large truck was merging into my lane to take the next exit, which is about 1,000 feet in front of us. Our cars connected. My car spun. The camper shell exploded, leaving debris in the road. A woman stopped in the center divide where I now sat, facing traffic, bleeding out in my car. She pulled me out of my car and ran me across the highway back to the gas station I had just been at less than 10 minutes before. She and the women working at the gas station got me paper towels. My head did not stop bleeding. I knew I was dying in the ambulance. I was determined to talk and talk until my proverbial lights went out. My blood pressure dropped so low that the machine couldn't read it. The EMT assured me that it was just a problem with her machine. But I could see the fear on her face. She made me as comfortable as she could, going so far as to take my clothes off so that they wouldn't be cut later once I got to the trauma room. My expensive lingerie thanked her profusely. In the trauma room, they stapled my head shut. I still have a dip where the fat separated, where I had felt my own skull in my car. And they whisked me off to CT because I felt weird movement in my chest. One floating rib fracture and a hairline rib fracture later, they sent me home. I drove to Target the next day. On Tuesday, I was back in class. I tell this story not to garner sympathy. This was 5 years ago, after all. But instead to talk about gut feelings and divine intervention and what they mean to me and how those meanings came to be after this incident. I was raised a certain way and never really subscribed to what I was being told. Years of soul searching have given me answers I never could have imagined at 19. Firstly, why did this happen? I got turned around twice, but I didn't listen. Secondly, was I supposed to die? No. The dream I had was a warning, but I didn't listen. Thirdly, what would have happened if I had arrived as planned? I don't think that there's a world where that ever could have happened. I know, based on what we talked about, that whatever A would have done to me would have been worse than anything I experienced in that car that night. I was given 3 chances to listen to my gut, and I ignored them all for the promise, the suggestion of intimacy. It was all I craved before and after. A showed their true colors by ghosting me on Valentine's Day, exactly 3 weeks after I had nearly died on my way to see them. I owe my life to God, but I still don't know what that means. Lately, I've taken to the idea that God is internal. All the warning signs came from deep within my unconscious, so deep that I couldn't understand them. Finally, if God is internal, then why was my divine intervention so physical and external? I don't have that answer, but I'm inclined to believe that I will always be kept safe. I wasn't meant to die in that car. My injury was protective. I leave you now with one more message. Listen to what you are told, especially if it comes from within you. If you don't, someone or something else will force you to. I don't really have a great ending for this video. I don't really have an ending to that essay because the lessons from that accident are lessons that I'm still learning. I'm still piecing it together. I'm still figuring it out. It's been 5 years. I think I'll never stop figuring it out. But at the end of the day, I should have listened to my gut. If you stuck around this long, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all for being here. I'm sorry that I haven't posted in a little while. I'm gonna try to be more regular and get back on my little schedule. And sorry I have to be so quiet. My parents are asleep. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Let me know. Oh, let me know if you want me to read more of my essays. Let me know what else you want to see. Like, comment, and subscribe, and all that, whatever. And I will see you next time.